What a volatile day for Bitcoin, but is that going to come to an end soon as Michael Saylor announces he's selling MicroStrategy stock to buy another $600 million worth of Bitcoin? The ETFs are off to another massive start. $6 billion of volume in the bag already. Where will the day end today? Also, Janet Yellen seems to have flipped her stance on cryptocurrencies. We have a video to share with you. And we have so much to talk about. The markets are moving. We're moving into the live show. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel to take old, boring, and stale information, repackage that thing up in a fun and sexy way. Man, oh man, the bull market is back.
No, we're in the bear market, man.
The bull market.
We're going to 10K.
Bull market is back. It's in full effect. Why? Well, because we moved from 40 to 60K in about a month. And then we moved from 60. We knocked out all-time highs. And then we came back down and...
Dude. What are you doing, man?
What?
And look straight in the camera. Like your body. Position your... Is there only one button unbuttoned right now?
Yeah, I got one. No.
So you're the reason.
This was actually the second one.
No, you usually do two unbuttons.
Yeah.
That's why we're done.
Better?
Thanks. No, that's not better. That's
Yeah.
You look like a kid that's getting ready for high school pictures. Okay, now say cheese.
Oh, yeah, I've actually heard that.
Yeah. I was up this morning. I got a alert. Might have gotten a forced liquidation. Hasn't happened. Could happen. But hey, that's why we only put in money that we're willing to lose, right? So Bitcoin was extremely volatile, going all the way down to $63,600. I'm just going to pull up my chart real quick, and then we'll get into some Michael Saylor news. So this is BTC on the 30-minute. I was expecting a bounce back once we saw this liquidity grab up here, which we did, but we spilled off again. But an important level here that I noticed was this order block around 63.4K. That is where we wicked down. So this is about where 8% of volume was coming in, and a majority of those were buys. And so what I'm using here, guys, is the Lux Algo Price Action Concepts Indicator. Kind of paints your picture of, hey, where are people buying? Where are people selling? What does the structure of the chart tell you? We did have a break of structure here, which ended up being a false signal as we bumped up against this premium zone, which is typically a good area to sell. As you can see here, earlier or later in the day yesterday, and then of course earlier today, we saw a rally up to this area, which was around 69K even, and then a big spill off. So we're currently, since we hit all-time highs, right, from wick to where we are now, we're down about 8%. So the markets are extremely volatile.
I'm telling you, that is a good thing. This is indicative of a bull market, right? I mean, what happened when we were going through the depths of the bear market when we were around 20K? We didn't have any giant swings like this. It was a snooze fest. We slowly stepped up a couple thousand, slowly stepped back a couple thousand. We went from 60 to 68 down to 64, like all in within 2 days. Right? It's crazy. In 48 hours, we're having $8,000 swings, man. We crossed an all-time high, or at least we tapped it real quick. We said, what's up? Just gave it a little fist bump, and then went back home. But I'm telling you, man, I am so excited. Robin, I am so excited, man, because the ETFs are rolling. There's only so much Bitcoin going around. The miners aren't selling like they were in the past because, well, you know what? Each Bitcoin mined is worth damn near all-time high.
You know who else? You know who is selling? But I have a visual representation of how the markets went this morning. Rocco? All right, we had this.
I feel like that's your car on the way to soccer practice.
No, I definitely don't pile everyone in the front seat. That's bad parenting right there, guy. Whatever your name is, bad parenting. So we have MicroStrategy to raise $600 million to buy more Bitcoin. You know, a lot of people laughed when he said, I'll be buying the top forever. And the dude has literally put his money where his mouth is consistently. I guess my question to you, Rob, is, yeah, it's good. You know, he's got a lot of Bitcoin, but dude, like one company is going to control 1% of the supply. Is that a good thing?
Yes.
I mean, Bitcoin's supposed to be financial freedom, escape, and
okay.
we got people like, hold on real quick. Let me just say, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm not saying it is a good thing or a bad thing. I'm playing devil's advocate. Go ahead.
Did you watch his keynote speech?
Atlantis?
From Madeira, yeah. The whole thing?
About the majority of it, yeah.
Okay, so...
but I was under the influence, so...
Okay, well, anyways, very similar to what you're saying here. In his keynote speech, he said, it doesn't matter who you like or who your enemies are, the more people that own Bitcoin, the better. And so even better if your enemy owns Bitcoin, right? So if you have...
How can your enemy own Bitcoin, Robin, if you have all of them?
You can own all of them. That's
I know
the whole
you can.
point.
Of course, I'm joking.
So what he's saying is that if you are against the banks and you're about the HODL mentality and you don't like BlackRock, whatever it is, if you're holding Bitcoin and then BlackRock comes up and purchases a large amount of Bitcoin, 200, the large ETFs, the 9 of them together have brought in over 200 million or 200,000 Bitcoin. And that right there has just increased the price of your own Bitcoin, right? And you are sitting in a better position because you got in before the large companies. And so if you're holding Bitcoin now, every time Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy buy Bitcoin, it's a net positive for you. It's a net positive for the price because it makes that asset that much more scarce because you know that they're not going to sell it. Or you know that there's less of circulation or that the demand for the product is going to rise.
Let me ask you a question, Robin.
And would you rather own diamonds that you can arguably say a lot of the evil corporations around the world?
What happens if Michael Saylor dies tomorrow and someone new steps in? They're not necessarily a big fan of Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, you get the what ifs or whatever,
Just saying.
Yeah, what if there was a solar flare and knocked out all the miners? in North America?
This is an actual scenario that could potentially happen, right? What if he gets voted out?
So is a solar flare. I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to be funny here, but I'm really not. You can put what ifs behind everything. What if Satoshi came back? What if the Bitcoin miners took over the network? What if Michael Saylor, got infected by a parasite and went a little loony and then started making rash decisions? You can say that about anything, but realistically speaking, even if this man flipped on Bitcoin and absolutely hated it and sold it all, it would cause a sell pressure that would be temporary anyways. He's not the go all end all. Even if Satoshi's wallet came into the action and then you had all of those tokens hit the market, it still wouldn't break Bitcoin. It wouldn't be favorable for the price in the short term. People would probably freak out a little bit. But let me ask you something. If Satoshi's wallet became active, would there be Bitcoin 10 years from now?
Yeah.
Okay, then. If Michael Saylor all of a sudden is not pro Bitcoin, Bitcoin will be here in 10 years, be here in 10 months. It'll be here in 10 days. Maybe the price won't be where it is today. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Because it's as decentralized in its nature, and because it is so decentralized, whoever the hell decides to participate or not participate or participate today and not participate tomorrow doesn't matter. It makes no difference. It's unlike anything we've ever had before. Like when we were in fiat, okay, well now all of a sudden the U.S. and Russia got this thing going on, and I'm a Russian citizen, or you know what I mean, or hey, there's sanctions going on in North Korea, and like this is not good because I like to send my family. You don't have to worry about none of that. Nothing matters with Bitcoin. It's pure, it's clean, it's simple, it's decentralized, and no matter who decides to hate on it, or participate on it, it still works and it still transacts and it still grows. It still does its thing. That's the beauty of the whole thing. So, I mean, we could throw what ifs all day, but it doesn't matter. It makes no difference.
Okay. Well said. So we have this from Eric Balkunis. Volume for Bitcoin 10 is really intense again today. Over $6 billion traded. For context, that's more than Microsoft, which is I think the second most valuable company in the world. With a couple hours left to go, probably going to beat last Wednesday's record. And it talks about IBIT, so Fidelity, BlackRock, Grayscale, and Bitwise are all in the top 15 of the most active ETFs today across all ETFs. And then we have the flows coming from yesterday's from BitMEX Research. BlackRock came in at 420 positive. Fidelity had a monster day. I think it was their biggest day they've ever had. 404, their biggest day they ever had yesterday was Fidelity. $404 million in inflows, more than offsetting Grayscale's outflows, which was, again, a massive $368 million leaving Grayscale, brings us a net of $562 million positive. You might be wondering, so why is the price going down? There's a lot of short orders, a lot of short positions entered at the top. We also have this. Grayscale's Bitcoin holdings dropped by 33%, totaling $9.26 billion since the ETF conversion. GBTC saw its 36th consecutive day of outflows on March 4th. Prior to the ETF, Grayscale had around 620,000 Bitcoin. Now they have only 420,000 Bitcoin. Guys, understand this. The largest holder of Bitcoin outside of Satoshi's wallet sold 200,000 Bitcoin in a matter of 36 days, and we made all-time highs. And with that being said, let's bring in Magic Internet Money. Magic! How you doing, bro?
Doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm great. I know I kind of made that real fast. Didn't give Rocco enough time. Sorry, Rocco. Actually, I'm not sorry because you crap on me all the time. Anyways, Magic, markets. There we go. Markets are dumping, bro. I'm about to get liquidated, man. What's going on here, man? Help me out.
61,800. No. You took the all-time high. You have a nice little swing failure pattern up here from a trader's perspective. This was a short, but it is one of those things where if you're not comfortable doing that, you don't have to. We'll jump into the charts right away if you don't mind. I mean, otherwise I don't really have anything to talk about.
Is the bull market over?
Segue into it. No,
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
So you never know.
We are about to get liquidated, dude. Jesus Christ.
Well,
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
That's never fun.
Yeah.
So in terms of, key levels, realistically, the all-time high has to be on your radar. 69K to about 73K for me has been a really big area on the chart all the way since over here. And if there's time today, I could show you guys in like a high time frame why that's such a big area. But in terms of what you're looking at now is you've taken the high, you had a lot of breakout longs getting up there, getting trapped, and sellers, kind of you alluded to earlier, stepping in and actually pushing the price down. So this was a very interesting move into the halving. So do I think that we're going to go into this weird consolidation where, maybe we go sideways here for a little bit? It is very possible. But at the same time, if we flip 69K again, it's like, we have to start looking for higher targets. So for now, what you are looking at is probably looking at the previous week point of control alongside like a daily naked point of control down there. So what that means is we're going to steal this guy real quick. And we'll go down to like an hourly. And you'll see that you've got a range that was formed on the way up here before getting to this region. And you do have an untapped point of control down there. So for me, this is just an area that if I was to take that short up there, I would be fully aware of it as a take profit. And I would just say, this
what
this
price level
right
is that, Magic? Sorry. What was that price?
Right. We'll call it 62,000 even in this region right here. So you'd be looking at this as potentially a support region. So on the move up, you've got like small consolidations that are happening. The point of control is oftentimes going to be looked at as potentially good support. It's the highest volume area of the move in terms of the last consolidation. So for me, this is going to be a big area to be watching for. If you were to do just a little other basic stuff, right? So this is for people at home. If you're looking at the chart going, how do I know what to put on my chart? Not only do you have the weekly naked point of control here, but you can also see that this is also where the last daily setups are going to be in terms of support. So you can see that you've got some closures here at 62.102 and 62.262. So knowing that I've got some, volume targets here, I've also got some horizontal support. You could mark these levels out. You could put a box here and be like, okay, somewhere in this region, I'm hoping to find my legs. Because if I lose this, there's really not much between you and these candles, right? So this is not a good place to be living down in this region. So to me, this is a consolidation area and support area right off the rip that I've got marked out. And I'd like to see it hold as support and maybe even take some trades off of it and see if Bitcoin can't put in a range here and see what's going on. Because just coming all the way up to the all-time high and then nuking back below 60K really would not be the best look. And specifically 62K. So when we go out to like a monthly chart, right, $62,000 was actually a really, really big level for me going back in the prior bull run. And so what you'll notice here on a monthly time frame is you don't have any real closures above this level in terms of like a material closure. And there's a lot of time left in March. But if you start living below this and flipping it to the resistance and then giving up further ground, this is where you could look at this as a larger range then and say, okay, we're probably going to recapture some of this move. And I should make plans to either A, buy in lower, or B, if I'm leveraged, maybe deleverage a little bit if I started getting leveraged in this area of the chart, right? If you're leveraged from down here or here, you're probably a little safer. But, a deleveraging will take place is how I like to put that. So bull market not over, but those that are late to the move may get punished, I guess, and especially those that are using leverage. So 62K to me is, it makes sense on a lot of different levels, both locally in terms of volume targets and horizontals, but then on the very high time frames, this really does start to add up as well. So, that's the region I'd be kind of keeping track of for right now. Now, again, it is a monthly chart, so I don't want you guys to get like too concerned if like we wick down here and then recover it and we just chop around the level. That's not really so bad. What you don't want to see is like an impulsive move just like straight through the level. And, now we're just, I wouldn't say free falling, but we're just cruising looking for support because it's fairly far away at that point. So if Bitcoin rooted around up here, it wouldn't really upset me too much. One way to look at this as well is I used to look at this as a larger range. I believe this video is actually still up from back in the summer, is something like this, where I had essentially just taken the low and high time frame quarterly closures and just kind of stretched it over and said, okay, if we were to get a range, it could look something like this. And then I need to figure out exactly where does that, leave me. If we lose this region of the chart up here at the top and find our way back in it, where does that leave my analysis? What am I thinking as a trader at that point? I'm not necessarily looking at it as the bull market's over. I'm just looking at it maybe as a larger consolidation before a break above these levels. Just because, again, the 69K high really was, from like a Fibonacci standpoint, just a massive, massive area on the chart. And I would be surprised if we just pushed straight through. And I believe in historical fashion, Bitcoin oftentimes does hit the all-time high and then consolidate for a little bit before, moving through it. So like, here's a good example. And it's not like we spend a ton of time up here doing it, but enough time that people probably mess up their long-term positions, where again, you've wicked above the all-time high here and you spent, probably close to a month going sideways. How long is this range here? Things like that, just enough to get people kind of messed up in what they're thinking and what's going on. Like 23 days. That's a long time for people if they're just messing around with leverage and trading. Unfortunately, we all know idle hands aren't great. So you could say the same over here. Again, you can see that you've hit the all-time high, wicked above it, and you got like a bit of a sell-off. So the rally obviously resumes after that. So you kind of have to keep the big picture in your mind that realistically, Bitcoin can recover a lot of this move without really changing anything in terms of the rally. So for me, it'd be very wise to put together a one-sided plan. If I were a trader right now, if I didn't catch the short up here, I would say, okay, where do I want to be getting back in? I think that, this region of the chart could offer up, if strength enters the market, a decent trade. But then I'd look at it and say, where am I wrong? Where do I just kind of throw this whole thing out and the bull market occurred all at once? It's a triple top, whatever the most bearish thing people are probably saying these days. For me, probably like 53K would be a pretty important region. And that is lining up really, really nicely with some levels we've discussed previously, right in here. So 53K puts us right here at the back of like the last breakout. So should we come back all the way down to here, like that's doomsday to me almost at this point, because we just haven't had a retrace yet. Yeah, if you give this level up, is the bull market over? It's kind of early to say, but at the same time, it doesn't start to look very good. So, to me as an investor, as long as we're living above that, I'm looking at this very opportunistically, and I'm just going to be patient because I know that things could be a week from now, but it also could be a month from now based on history, where we see new highs again. So I do have to be patient and also maybe lay off the leverage when we're up here at the all-time highs, because that is going to get you in a little bit of trouble with trading right now in terms of longs, I would say. So yeah, that's really only my only advice
I'm
there.
just curious if today's sell-off had something to do with the broader markets taking a nosedive today as well. NASDAQ down 1.75%. And so some of the big tech companies, Apple is down quite significantly today. Yeah, man. Apple's down 3%. NASDAQ down 1.77. So pretty big numbers for the Wall Street. So maybe that
a
had
decent gap down on the SPX as well. Yeah. I mean, it could. They are correlated. I mean, at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, Bitcoin and traditional markets have been fairly correlated. What's good for traditional markets has been good for Bitcoin and vice versa. One day we can all talk about the decoupling and maybe Bitcoin's its own thing, but for now, yeah, no, it's a good spot. Like if they're dumping, then you would imagine that money that's rolling into Bitcoin now is also probably trading similarly in terms of risk on assets. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really looking too much into the sell-off just yet. Just from a trader's perspective, the best trade today was a short, and that's really it. And you kind of move on from there. It doesn't really change the idea of what this market's going to do unless we start really seeing broader pullbacks below like $53,000. But for me, I would just mark out some simple levels. I really do like the area between like, $61.2 to like $62,000. And, see what goes on from there. Anything below that, you've got support right here around 59. But, I wouldn't want to be living down here on top of that. I'd like to see it catch itself, and then we can start playing the retrace and seeing what kind of a consolidation we're going to get. And I'll probably just trade that range until we get resolution, I guess. It would be the best way to put it. That's going to be my trading plan going forward is I think the trending move is probably slowing down a little bit for right now, and then see if I can't, trade the chop, I guess, because that's what I like to do. So
awesome. Magic, can you take a look at Stacks, STX? It ran up to about $3.10. Is now currently trading at
one that Robin was saying $4, right?
What?
Maybe
at one time.
Maybe. I don't know.
No.
Could have been another.
I think
might have been
another Rob.
Could have been Stack without the S.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. It's STX.
Yeah. STX before.
Robin.
STX.
Yeah, STX. Yeah.
We'll look at Stacks here. Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah.
Because I initially took this.
Nice try.
I initially took this short right here, and it came all the way down to the key averages that generated the next year, which is your quarter one and your yearly pivot. So I actually remember this chart a little bit because he was looking, for this thing to run. And you know what? Shout out to Rob, because when I made the comment about the next week where I said I took this short, thanks, Rob. He goes, I was looking more long term, and so he was correct. Long term, this was actually. While it was a good short in the initial, that was the good trade at the moment. It was a really good trade if you got on the opposite end and bought it. So if you bought the dip, this thing ripped, pretty good, pretty sizable rip there. So let's take a look at Stacks and see what we've run into here, because there is something up here.
In the price history, did it hit $4? No.
I got pretty close.
Yeah, there you go.
I think you made it
pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, you made a new all-time high. So to me, that's pretty good, because a lot of cryptos are lagging behind still and not doing that, and this one is performing quite well. So if $3.25 got claimed, you've hit the prior all-time high. What was the high here? High was $3.39. So it's a good shout. You can make money from a move like that, because what did that go from $1.23 at the low all the way to $3.39? That's well over 100% in that short amount of time there. So. Yeah, very similar to Bitcoin actually. So what we're looking at about 284 is you're looking for this to start living above this on like a monthly basis. So you can see that you've got essentially resistance, 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 and now you're really kind of trying to challenge that and change that a little bit. So the move itself, it could spend some time up here kind of consolidating, but you'd want to see about $2.84 kind of flipped to support, and that's realistically just like a prior all-time high type thing. Living up here, and then you can get that breakout. I believe injective protocol is a good one that looks like that. But on the the medium time frame, like weekly, monthly, you've got a pretty clear area of consolidation here. So for me, I would be looking at it like so. I would just go to my nearest weekly chart here, and you could use a magnet tool or not, if I can get mine to work. And I would just say that this is probably going to be my range for a little bit, unless we get like a super dumple, a candle out of Bitcoin, right? Uh, and that
What's the
would put
bottom of
you
that range,
at
Magic?
you're looking at about $2.43 at the low, but the
Mm.
open's 259, so somewhere between 259 and 243. I would want to see this region of the chart, be support, and I'd look at it kind of opportunistically too. If I was looking for positions, because this may do something where it puts in like a consolidation where it does some kind of like triangle, and you just want to kind of be anticipating that, but at the same time treating this for what it is, right? So we'll go down like a 4 hour, for instance. You can kind of see how that might shape up, and you'll probably get some kind of a compression, and it'll break up or down. So to me, you can do something like that, as simple as horizontals, or you could be like, okay, this is very easily spotted that this was my breakout right here. It's a very nice candle. This is all one big consolidation. I'm looking for the point of control at the bottom of my basing area. We said down to 243, if you recall, and that is going to be that range low right in here. So I'm looking as if I'm looking for an opportunity, this is where I probably want to get involved. Now, if you get down here and like, I don't know what kind of entry triggers you guys use. If there is no entry trigger for you down here, I wouldn't just be blindly buying it either, because you could end up on the opposite end of it. You did sweep the all-time high with an SFP. But if I wanted to trade this, I think that this is a good area to have mapped out and go from there. And I don't know about $4 anytime soon, but I'd say he got closer than he wasn't. So that was a solid guess, because this thing did rip after that.
You
That
said
is
guess? Educated guess.
Oh, sorry.
He hypothesized.
What is your title when you come onto the show again, Robin? I actually laugh
Rob
every time I see
Stradamus.
it.
No, it's not.
Rob Stradamus.
Loud spoken crypto expert.
That's the one. Yeah, I love that. That is probably one of my favorite things in the space. I was like, you know what? There's a lot of people that need that, but he's just owning it, and that's one of my favorites. So, yeah. But yeah, that's how I look at stacks. I would just be patient on it. I'd look for 259 to 243, and maybe trade this as a range, and go from there.
Magic, any trade setups you're looking at right now with the market the way it is?
Yeah, a little bit. Some of them are altcoin related. So we do like chart builds once or twice a week, and specifically on altcoins because there's so many. So I just take requests. Rose was a big one. So Rose actually hit a take profit for me. I did take the long on this one when we built it out, because I just decided that was going to be it. But it's actually a short setup on Rose. This was the big one for me today when I was just kind of like letting my alerts go off, but it did. It ran right into our box a little bit earlier than I anticipated, because I was looking for about Wednesday the 13th. But this was a short setup, and for me, it's quite the target. It's all the way back down here at like 11.66 cents. So it's a ways away. So it's a big pattern. This is a harmonic pattern. So for me, I like to trade these, and the reason being is they work off Fibonacci convergence, but also it lined up super nice with what you'll find on most charts. That quarter one low from 2022 was just such a key time in the market for both altcoins, Bitcoin, and even traditional markets. You'll find very key areas of support and resistance there often. And this one lined up going into it. I was like, man, if I get that short, it's going to be great. So when we came over here and we were actually lining this out, we said, all right, as long as we're holding on to this expansion zone, we would be looking for this box. And to me, it's a short. So I sold my Rose there. Did take a small short on it on Mexi, and I'll just kind of ride this out and see if I can't make some extra money on it. So Rose was the big one for me. So if you're in Rose and you've seen me on another show talking about it, it has hit a pretty big area that we've been talking about. So don't be like YOLOing into it. Yeah.
Awesome. Magic, we appreciate you, man. You've been joining us every Tuesday for quite a while now. We love having you on the show. Yeah. Guys, if you want more Magic Internet money, what's up?
I was saying it's my favorite thing to do on Tuesday besides tacos.
Ooh, wait, did you say tacos? Like Taco Tuesday?
Yeah, man. Oh, it's Tuesday. Yeah, tacos.
Taco
I live
Tuesday?
like a half a mile from a Mexican restaurant, so they know me by like face and name.
They know you by your order.
No, I change it up. I'm pretty good about that. I surprise them a little bit,
Do
you
you?
know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of guy, you know.
Yeah, we're in Vegas,
I
so
gotcha.
we don't have a half a mile. You can't go a half a mile without hitting 5 different Mexican restaurants.
I've heard the food there is insane in Vegas. So not to
Yeah.
get off topic, but you guys,
Well,
you
you
guys
got
got the
every
spots.
you got every famous chef and celebrity chef and everyone and their
Mm.
mom has.
It's
a
all
restaurant.
concentrated within like a 2 mile strip of road. So
I would get diabetes quick. I have zero self control when it comes to food. Once I turn that on, it's like I just eat.
Me too.
there's some good ones out
I
here.
don't want to talk about weight. I'm just
Hungry,
staring at
man.
this. I'm staring at a Bitcoin chart, and it is just tanking.
Are we-
62.1.
Yeah,
Lord.
just getting crushed.
Yeah. So hey, you know,
There it is.
Oh, there it is. 61.8.
All
All
See
right.
what she does here.
Let's cross our fingers. Just kidding. Guys, these dips are, if you're a long-term holder, these dips are buying opportunities, right? So you can't expect the
Okay.
market to go up forever. It's going to have some retraces, which is actually good and healthy. So guys, if you want more Magic Internet money, go follow him on X/Twitter at Magic Internet M1. Also, you know what? We're going to get you have a Discord, right, Magic? We're going to get your Discord link. We'll drop that in the comments section. You know what, Magic? Do me a favor. When you get off, drop your Discord link in the chat. I'll pin it to the top, okay? That way people want to
Sounds
hop
good.
in, they can hop in. So we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, brother. And we look forward to next Tuesday.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Take care,
All
brother.
right, thank you.
All right.
Well. 61,000. Here we are.
Yay.
Been a while since I've seen this number. It's only been 3.5 days. Okay.
Bull market's over, man. Let's just go home. Pack it up. Let's go home, dude. Look at that volatility, huh? Robin jinxed us. I'm telling you, it's those damn buttons, man. You went from 2 to 1 button. You can't do that.
Yeah, look at Bing X has got so much leverage. Look at that thing. That thing's shooting down to 61.8.
Yeah, this is gonna take out a lot of longs here. Speaking of taking out a lot of longs, let's take a look at liquidations. It's got to be in the 100 millions, right?
Then real quick, if you are new here, say hello so we can jump an whole lot back at you. We got
Holy shit.
500 people watching live, 223 likes. So almost at the 50% like ratio. So smash the like button if you haven't already. And then say hello if you're new. We do have Wall Street Pickers, Mike C, Zach Sips, Rain here, Craig Patrick, hello, Round Earth, and Mastermind to all of you. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Look at this, dude.
What's that? What am I looking at?
For 350 million liquidated in 4 hours. 87% were longs. 115 million in the last hour. 96% were longs. Shit. It's volatility, my friends. Beware when you're trading, yeah? Especially when you're leverage trading. Bitcoin ETF assets more than halfway to surpassing gold funds. The 10 U.S. spot ETFs Bitcoin spot ETFs have eclipsed the $50 billion asset under management mark, reaching about $52 billion on Monday, according to BitMEX research, which is half of where gold is, and we're 40 days in. That's pretty crazy. Also, news here from the SEC. They have delayed BlackRock's Ethereum ETF again. We've been talking about the date here that we're watching is going to be in May. You know the exact date, Robin?
It's like the second week of May. I'm not sure. Might be May 14th, I think it's 14th.
May 14th. I think you're right.
But then you also have speaking of upcoming days on ETH, it's just a little over a week from now, you have the Dane Coon upgrade. So massive amount of scalability on the layer 2s, and very, very bullish for Polygon, Stark, Optimism. Essentially, you're cutting the transaction fees by 90% for them. So I'll look forward to that. Is that Janet Yellen? I love her.
Have you seen this?
No.
Her speech today?
Was she?
Dude, listen to
did
this.
she say she bought Bitcoin?
No, listen to this. Dude, it's crazy.
Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads. Council has discussed.
This is the top signal. On some good news here.
California's got away with people. Maybe she's been out there for a little while.
Why'd you bring California into this?
Because
we have
realistic. There's a lot of crackheads too.
We have Russell Okung. He was a offensive tackle in the NFL for a long time. He was one of the premier ones. And if you remember, Robin, we talked about this. He had taken half his salary in Bitcoin during the bear market. Everyone made fun of him. There was hit pieces calling him stupid. The dude's a straight gangster. So he tweeted this: very few people become wealthy from salary alone unless you're paid in BTC. Rob, are we going to see more of this potentially? Especially for like high net worth individuals, athletes, people that make a lot of money.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think I will say this is that Bitcoin is slowly moving away from a replacement of money, right? Or substitute of money. I think that there are alternatives out there. Now, if you need to, you can send people Bitcoin. And if you want to use Bitcoin and and give up just a little bit of security and use a layer 2 like the Lightning Network, well, I mean, it works, right? But that's not really what it's best suited for right now. Right now, store of value, a hedge against inflation. It is a collectible. Goes up in price, right? It's just a solid investment, right? And then on top of that, it's censorship and it can't be confiscated. So it has all the best properties of a commodity that you're trying to just make money off of, right? Or at least keep from losing money, right? Because right now, savings account bonds, very hard to outpace inflation, and even with gold. I do think gold will keep up with inflation over the long term, but it hasn't been ideally suited for a hedge against inflation in the last 10 years. And so Bitcoin does that in a perfect way, right? It's not at all, it's inflationary from the miners, but only in a small percentage. And that inflation gets cut in half every 4 years. And so there's a finite supply. And with that said, you can send money, but it's not really the grand purpose of it, right? You can get paid in it, but that's not really the need, right? You could also get paid in cash and then take half your paycheck and just go buy Bitcoin too. So I think it's kind of gimmicky in my opinion, but you know what?
It's gimmicky, huh?
I mean, what do you think?
I think it's great. I think now, will it work? Will it work for people like, okay, so if you make $60K a year and 90% of that goes to paying bills, should you take your money in Bitcoin? No, absolutely not. It's too volatile right now. If you're a multimillionaire, and how many times do you hear stories of athletes, musicians make a crap load of money and then go broke? If you can take half of your money or a 20% of your money in an asset like Bitcoin, set it and forget it. Once you retire, Russell Okung is retired. I don't know how much money he's sitting on because I don't know the exact amount and the exact price he bought Bitcoin at, but he's probably not broke. And how many athletes can do the same? How many musicians could do the same? How many people who make a crap load of money? You talk about someone that came from nothing, now comes into all this money. Majority of people, they don't know what to do. They fumble it. They let people take advantage of them. They let they invest in things they shouldn't invest in. Dude, from the get-go, throw half your money into Bitcoin, live off the half. I'm sure you can live off of $3 million a year instead of 6. Anyone can. And then bam, once you retire, now you have a beautiful nest egg. Now you can use that money to do whatever you want. You're wiser. You've dealt with money before. So I think it's great. I think it's great for those kind of people.
I think it is great as well, but I just don't think it's that big.
You just
of a
said it
narrative.
was gimmicky.
You know, I just think it's not that big of a narrative. It is kind of gimmicky. There's nothing stopping him from taking his paycheck and then just buying Bitcoin. Now I'm sure there's probably a tax advantage doing that, and then it's less transaction fees and less headache, and then it's set it and forget it. It's a hodl mentality. You know, you get paid every 2 weeks or every month or whatever it is. You know, you're basically just programming the DCA straight from your paycheck. Now that makes a lot of sense, but I don't think it's something that's gonna I don't think it's something that's gonna be wide stream adopted, right? I don't think that there's going to be one out of every 2 companies is paying employees in Bitcoin. I don't see that 80% of employees are getting paid in Bitcoin if offered. I think it's an option that I think is beneficial for the people that really want it. And as you mentioned, high net worth individuals that aren't living paycheck to paycheck can more readily use Bitcoin as a form of payment from an employer. But I mean, realistically, for me, I just think it's cool. Hey, man, that's cool. Good for you, man. But I don't think it's going to do anything for the price of Bitcoin in the long term. I don't think it's going to do anything for the adoption of Bitcoin in the long term. I do think that it trading on Wall Street is absolutely massive, giant. I think it's the biggest thing that's ever happened to Bitcoin. I do think that nation states using it as a fiat currency is massive, absolutely a game changer. We have rumors of other countries using Bitcoin. You have the Lightning Network transacting Bitcoin in a very low cost manner. You have the derivatives products coming out very soon that can satisfy the traders, at least from Wall Street. So I think there's 1,000 narratives that are stronger than get paid in Bitcoin. So, and then let's one last time. Let's get the likes going. We got 260 likes, 570 viewers. So we are over. Nope, not over the 50% mark just yet, but we're getting there. And then also,
Close.
The chat seems to be falling asleep. So let's see if we can get the inaugural Ola train going. And so put OLA in the chat. Let's see if we can spam 100 Olas in the chat. Appreciate it. And then for those of you that are new, say hello so we can drop an Ola back at you. We have TLA Projects, Gus, Punch, Jump, Kick, Tom, Dark Official, YT, and Pet Brett gifted 5 memberships. So to all of you, Ola! Welcome. Sin City Crypto.
Thank you, Pat Brett. We appreciate you, my dude. All right. Let's move on. So every Tuesday we do a segment called Rate My Portfolio. We're used to me your portfolio, and we rate it. And so last week we had a super chat at the end of the show from Ryan, and we told him we're going to rate it today. Well, Ryan, I hope you're watching, my friend, because here we go. Ryan's portfolio consists of, so it's an $11,500 portfolio, and it's divided into 5 coins equally: Hedera Hashgraph, Algorand, The Graph, Near Protocol, and Elrond. He wants to 7 to 10x. Robin, I'm going to ask you a pointed question here. Do you like the fact that it's only in 5 versus more diversified?
I think for the amount of money that's in his portfolio, I think it's solid.
What's your favorite? What has the most potential?
I would say, I feel like you need, you know what? It's actually pretty solid. It's for his goal. I think it's pretty solid. The 10x is a little stretch. If this was, I say 4 to 7, I would say 10 out of 10. I mean,
What's your favorite? What has the most
favorite?
potential? What has the most potential?
Probably Near Protocol.
Okay. What has the what would you get rid of if you had to get rid of one?
Elrond.
What would you replace it with? Would you replace it with another metaverse play?
I honestly, I would, if this was my portfolio here, the exact same amount of money, equally spread out, I would keep HBAR, Algorand, and Near, and then Graph and Elrond, I would drop those, and I would bring in ETH and Polygon.
Drop the Graph and Elrond, bring in ETH and Polygon. So you're going heavier on the ETH ecosystem. You're getting rid of his metaverse play, and you're not.
Yeah, here's the thing: if you're not gonna go with Bitcoin, which I understand going into a bull market in a shorter term time horizon, not picking Bitcoin, I see what you're doing there, but you're playing the altcoins, right? And the strongest altcoin is going to be ETH and its layer twos, and so until something replaces it, I just don't say, like, you're rolling the dice, right? Will HBAR have more users and more dApps and more transactions and more TVL than Ethereum? I doubt it. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe 5-10 years from now, sure. You could say the same thing about Algorand and maybe Near, but realistically speaking, I think that king of layer ones outside of Bitcoin is going to be Ethereum next bull market. Do you agree?
Yeah.
And you're going to get bigger returns, I would say, from 2 out of these 5 on Ethereum. I would just say, if I had to guess, those 5 tokens, 2 of them will net you a better return than Ethereum, but 3 of them will not. And so from mathematically, if you were just to hold only Ethereum, I think you would have better returns than holding all 5 of these. And so if you want to hedge if you want to take a little bit more leverage position with the layer ones, hold both Ethereum, hold Ethereum, the base layer, and then hold a layer 2. I mean, I could sit here and preach the whole ETF is around the corner.
Yeah,
we're not going to do that. But at the end of the day, it is king of layer ones. It's king in NFTs. It's king on DeFi. It's king on new tokens issued. It's king on swaps. I mean, every metric, total value lock, every metric you could think of, other than transactions, throughput, and cost. Other than that,
which is extremely important.
It is. I'm not dismissing it, and that's why that's why there are an ecosystem for alternatives. But outside of that, it's still number 1 in all those categories. So I mean, until it's not, you can't fade it. You can sit here and talk about the next greatest phone, but if you just dismiss iPhone like it's not gonna have market majority here in the States, or Samsung having market majority globally, you can sit here and be like, well, this new Nokia phone, man, I'm telling you, man, you guys got no idea, man. It's so bullish. I listened to this keynote speech by the founder of Nokia, and I'm telling you, they got this new phone. It's going to be so much better than
what do you give this portfolio? Phone. 6?
I give it a 8.
8, okay.
I think it's an 8. I don't think you're going to hit you're not going to hit the 10x.
You'll hit the 7 out the 10.
I think if things play right, if all 5 of those tokens perform relatively well, above expectations, you'll get it. But I think a couple of these are gonna fall flat.
Okay. Rob's at a 7. Well, before I give my thoughts, chat, I want you to put your rating in there. So I actually like this portfolio. My favorites. So Hedera, Algorand, Near, love them. Also love the graph. Elrond, get rid of it. Right. If you want to do 2020, you want to get 5 coins, get rid of Elrond. Put something else with a lot of upside in there. Put a gaming chain in there. Put a gaming coin in there. Put a DPIN in there. Put an Arweave, a Filecoin, some decentralized storage. Something else, put it in there. Hedera, massive upside. Algorand, massive upside. You guys already know how much I love Near. I like the graph. It's hard for me to get rid of the graph. I would definitely get rid of Elrond, maybe drop graph down to 10%, and then use that 30% and get into 2 other coins. So expand your list to 6 instead of 5. And so those are just some ideas. ETH is a good play. Cardano is a great play. Polygon's a great play. Solana is a great play. Avalanche is a great play. This is a layer 1 narrative. You have a lot of things going for you. You have ISO 222 token narrative, done. Layer 1 narrative, done. The speed narrative, done. You have the institution narrative with HBAR, that's good. You have big upside. Algorand is sitting at 25 cents, 22 cents. Got all the way up to over $3. So over a 10x just to get to its last all-time high. Now, it's not guaranteed it's going to get to its last all-time high. Chances are it probably will. It's a solid project, solid team behind it. The graph is like This is your infrastructure play. This is your Google of Web3 play. Love near what they're doing with chain abstraction and data availability. Elrond, maybe this is my ignorance of not knowing exactly what it is they're doing as far as forming partnerships and this and that. But to me,
You
get
know,
rid of them.
you know, call me.
I'm at a
crazy.
I'm at
Call
a
me
8.
Crazy.
I'm at a 7.5.
You know what I think? Scratch the poly. Just put Ethereum in the 1. Remove 2. Put Ethereum in there, and then put in Dogecoin. And I'm not at all joking here. Put in Dogecoin. Dogecoin previous all-time high was at 65 cents, right?
No, 70.
70 cents. And I mean, you agree meme coins got a lot more to run, right? At least the big boys, right?
Yeah.
And so you got Dogecoin coming in at 14 cents right now. And I'm very confident that Dogecoin will break previous all-time high. I'm confident it'll break the previous I think it'll break $1. Where will it land? Will it get as high as $2? I don't quite know. I don't really know how I feel about the eventual price targets for Dogecoin. But I mean, if it gets to $1.30, that's a 10x, right? It would not surprise me if it hits $1.30. What do you think? You think this bull market Doge hits $1.30?
That's a pretty big number. I'm sorry, bro. I'm looking like Bitcoin is just straight, absolutely dumping right now. 59.3.
Ooh.
59.3. So a lot of people. Let's pull up the. And I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. It's just, it's sad.
No,
Liquidation.
he's the one that trades. You hear him?
Somebody got liquidated.
You hear the.
Anyways, but that's okay. So over the last hour, look at this. 300 and yes, it is okay, Rocco. It's fine. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. $337 million. 96% were longs. I mean, this is brutal. But look how fast. I mean, guys, extreme volatility. Look at that. It's just it cleared out like 400 million, and then it's going back up to over 61K again. Tread carefully.
What do you think the people on Wall Street are saying right now?
They're like, holy shit.
Because they're looking at a product. It launched at 40,000, right? Bitcoin ETF launched at 43,000. It dropped down to 40 and people freaked out. And then it bounced back. It was about a week later, it was back up to 45,000. And then over the course of a month and a half, it went from 40,000 to elbowing a previous all-time high, cracking all-time high, just tapping it, and then swinging down and dropping 10,000, right? I mean, if it hit 59,000, which we saw the number there for briefly. So Bitcoin 59,000 sure is probably a wick on a few exchanges, but 59,000 this morning we hit 69,000. So that's a $10,000 swing, plus or minus a couple $100, but essentially $10,000 swing. That's over great. The course of 4 hours.
4 hours.
That's nuts, bro.
That's
And once again, I opened up the show. Now, David seems wounded, but I opened up the show. I'm excited. I am excited. You know why?
Seems wounded.
You do seem wounded. Yeah. But I'm excited because I know exactly where we're at right now, and we're in the meat and potatoes. We're in the froth of the bull market. And because
I don't know, the froth seems like it's getting cleared out real nice. Took a spoon to that mother right there.
I mean, it's just like a wave, man. Waves are very frothy.
Froth coming off the market.
Waves are very frothy. Waves come in and they come out, but the tides are rising.
Froth.
There's a full moon.
Come out. Okay.
Whatever it is, hey.
Yeah.
Hey guys, new Bitcoin price. I know it is the Alvin.
So stupid. Yeah, before we move on, I do want to give a big shout out to Decrypted.tax. They are the sponsor of our Rate My Portfolio segment. So we know tax season's around the corner. If you haven't filed your taxes yet and you don't know where to start, especially when it comes to your crypto transactions, you're going to want to go to Decrypted.tax. The founder, Ernest, has been on our show multiple times. Great guy. They do a great job. They've been doing it in this space for a very, very long time. And if you use the link in the comment section, you will receive 25% off any service that you decide to choose. I think he does free consultations too. So big shout out to the Crypto.tax and big shout out to Bitcoin bouncing back. 61,727. All right, let's talk
It's
about
not the only thing that's extremely volatile. Guess what else is? No, none other than MicroStrategy down 16% today.
gave back everything you got yesterday.
Yesterday, MicroStrategy was up 21%. Today, down 16%. Which is interesting because this morning they were up as well. So this is on the 1 day. Wow, man, what a swing! They went from $1,330 down to $1,110. So, yeah, man, welcome to the bull market. I'm telling you, very, very bullish for me.
Like I said, guys, in bull markets, big dips like this are your chance to add to your position if you're going to continue to buy.
I think the blood in the streets and the markets are pumping up our channel because we're nearing 700 live viewers, so quite a good turnout here. So I think everyone's all like, "What happened? What happened to Bitcoin? Bitcoin broke. Bitcoin is broken." Everyone,
don't say that. People might believe you. They're new.
Yeah, they are new.
I'm looking at a BTC chart here, right? So this is Bitcoin again on the 30-minute. And you can see the first big wick down here, which was around 63.3. We saw a bounce back as we see from the order blocks here, about 2,000 Bitcoin worth of volume on the order blocks. The majority of those were buys. And so they gobbled those up. Bitcoin actually printed a green 30-minute candle back up to that 65.7 level. And then we had another massive spill off. We did slow down in that same area again, but eventually we just spilled off. But where did Bitcoin catch? It caught at this discount zone here. And so again, guys, this is the Lux Algo Price Action Concepts Indicator. Gives you a view of how the market structure looks and where buyers and sellers are stepping in. So if you're trading or you're looking to swing trade or scalp some profits, you know exactly what areas to scalp and to kind of let your winners run and let your losers go. And so this is a great area here. So this discount zone is between 58.7 and 59.7. We did wick down to that 59.5 level, which we're watching live. If we zoom out to the hour chart, look at this. Over the last 4 hours, we've lost 14%. 14.3% spill off on the hour chart since, when was this? Since 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So about 5 hours ago.
Also, I'm actively changing our thumbnail. So we went from we went from this was our thumbnail to start the show. $75,000 Bitcoin there. And we're just gonna change it. We're just gonna go 55.
Okay.
File save. There we go.
Save it.
Yeah.
If you want Photoshop lessons, hit up Big Rob.
Also, if you're new here, say hello. We'll drop an hola back at you. We got Toilet Brush, Maria, Juke, Crypto Scientist, Fortune, DJ B, Hawk, Doc, Soft Taco, Fortune, Robin G, not confused with me. Also, Jose Antonio Brutal, Oculus L, and Dot Wook. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Look at this daily chart, Rob. BTC. You know, I talked about these fair value gaps, right? Especially on the higher time frames. Your 4 hour daily, 3 day, 2 day, weekly, whatever you want to call it. I mean, just look at that perfect bounce, right? Right off that midline of that fair value gap, which brought us to, and again, this is these prices are sourced from Coinbase, right at 59K even. Big bounce here. And so if you're new to the space and you enjoy trading, I would highly, highly recommend, and this is not because they're a sponsor of the channel, but because these indicators are truly really, really good. And especially if whether you're a novice trader or an experienced trader, these are levels you can look at and say, hey, Put in a you know, what you could have done here is you could have put in a limit order at around 60K, right? The top end of this fair value gap, 60.2K. You would have gotten filled. You would have been immediately in the red, but in a very short period of time, you'd have been in the green again. And you can set another limit order at that 57.8 level, the lower bound of this fair value gap. And so these are things to look out for and use to help you make money. But overall, guys, you gotta zoom out, right? Whenever, and I'll put it to you this way. Whenever you start getting nervous or scared, if it's your first bull cycle, if it's your first cycle period, always zoom out. Go to the week chart, go to the 3-day chart, go to the damn 1 month chart if you have to.
Now, you know what?
Zoom out and look at the structure.
Turn off your damn phone or stop opening up the app and looking at prices. You're starting to freak out. Just unplug for a little while, man. That's what you need to do.
No, then you miss money making opportunities, Rob.
No, you just take a break, man. When
Each their own.
you know damn well when the price is dumping, what are you doing? You're refreshing your portfolio.
Hell
You're looking
yeah.
at.
I'm trying to get in on a
That's
trade.
but
Because I'm trying to get in on a trade.
Dumb money mentality. You're always over.
I'm dumb money.
Yeah, man. You're always.
I'm
over
dumb
here.
money. You want to take that
Hey,
back?
I'm just saying that.
Hey,
You want to take that back?
You're throwing in
I'm not
salt
saying,
to the wounded
I'm
one.
not saying that you don't.
wounded.
You
Don't-
you haven't been profitable at times, but you know you
Really,
you
Robin?
swing with the masses, and so
I swing with the masses.
yeah.
Says the guy who,
Walking Dead.
I'm going to hold my tongue. I'm going to hold my tongue.
Zombie.
Going to hold my tongue. Anyways, I mean, you look at what kind of candle are we printing on the weekly. So this could potentially turn, well, not really, because that lower wick is too, we end up filling, but this is considered it's either going to be a long-legged doji or it's going to be a spinning top, which signifies indecision in the market. And again, I mean, from the weekly chart, look, that fair value gap at that level was filled again. So always zoom out, guys. Zoom out for the long term. Don't trade with too much leverage. And if you trade with leverage, just know that you can get liquidated at any point. So only put in the money that you're willing to part with. And so if you do that, you'll never be sad. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
That's all I got. Guys, go follow us on Twitter at Sin City Crypto 1. We have Dan from the Chart Guys joining us tomorrow. It's going to be another good show. Where will Bitcoin be tomorrow? What will Bitcoin be in 2 hours? You're going to have to stay tuned to find out. Also, our afternoon video.
It's gonna cross 70K in 2 hours.
Okay.
Wow.
Rebound.
I'm dumb money. So you're going to want to, if
I
you
would have
remember.
told you it hit 59 today, you would have been like, "You're dumb money, bro."
That's not
Yeah.
what I would not say that.
Yeah.
Anyways. To our members, you will get access to our Chronos video that we're putting out in about 10 minutes, and it'll go public for the rest in about 3.5 hours. So if you're a member of the channel, those are some of the perks you get. If you're a Whale member, you get even more perks, access to our Whale Discord, special discounts. And so big shout out to all the whales. Big shout out to everyone for watching today. If you're new, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the Sin City Crypto community. We got very helpful community members here. If you're ever confused or don't understand something, feel free to ask in the chat. No question is a stupid question, unless you ask whether Robin thinks Stacks is going to $4 and wants you to put in a 20x leverage trade.
I was told that.
But anyways,
I was told that I was on the right track. I just fell a little short, man.
Yeah, I fell a little short getting liquidated. Anyways, that'll do it for today's show. Rocco.
Oh my God. No, explain what it is for the new people to watch.
They'll find out. Someone in the chat explains. Finger tornado. Guys, coming back tomorrow. Same place, same time. We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hold on to those games, baby. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
That's it.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the Whale members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya, it's over. When the finger tornado close ya.